Good. Hey Amanda, thank you for coming in today. My name's Emma. I'm going to be your counsellor. How are you?
Good, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to go over some privacy and confidentiality. Now, I know the girls got you to sign the form out the front. Was there any questions that you had regarding the privacy and confidentiality?
No, I read it over and it all
Yeah,
seemed to make sense.
pretty much the same everywhere, but
Yeah.
I'll just recap it. So basically, it means that anything that you and I talk about here stays between you and I. Your files will not be shown to anyone. I will not go out there and talk to my colleagues about this session after this. And the only time that I would ever have to break that confidentiality or privacy agreement is if I was under the impression that you could cause harm to yourself or to the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
And in that instance, we would have an obligation to let you know if we were going to pass that information on.
Right, okay.
Okay. Also, part of our privacy and confidentiality is that if at any point in time you feel like you need to see your information,
Mm-hmm.
you have full rights to your information as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
All right, yeah, that's really reassuring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what's brought you in today?
So, my mum, she's 83.
Mm-hmm.
She recently had a fall.
Okay.
So she's in the hospital at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gotten really frail over the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been living on her own up until now in the house that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
My dad died a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And up until now, she's been okay. Like, she's still sharp as a tack. Like, her
Mm-hmm.
mind is all there. She's wonderful. She's the mum I've always known and loved.
Oh, that's good.
It's just her health
Yeah.
is really failing.
Mm-hmm.
She's unable to get around on her own.
Okay.
She can't get to the toilet on her own.
Yeah.
She just needs a lot of support
Yeah.
right now. And she... Basically, they can't release her from the hospital
Mm-hmm.
to go back to live on her own. That's not an
Okay.
option. And, I mean, you know, she broke a hip, so she's going to be in there for 6 to 8 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
But I kind of
Mm-hmm.
have to, although, you know, I've been talking to Mum about it too, but ultimately we need to decide if she's going to go and stay in a home or if she's going to come and move in with me
Okay.
at my house.
Okay.
It's just me at home.
Yeah.
There's certainly room for her
Mm-hmm.
at my house, but I work a full-time job.
Okay.
I love my work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a social worker. I get a lot of job satisfaction.
Yeah.
And you know, like, I've worked really hard to get to the position that I am right now, and I would hate to have to take a back seat
Mm-hmm.
or maybe quit altogether.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a husband, I don't have kids,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I do have kids because I have so many people that I've helped.
Yeah.
And to give that up would be really difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I really, really love my mum.
Yeah.
And she's always been really good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a really...
Sounds like you've got a big decision to make.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you spoken to your mum about this at all? Is she aware of how you're feeling when it comes to this decision? Like, I know that you said that you have been trying to make this decision together.
It's been quite difficult at the moment because she's on a lot of medication
Yeah.
because of her
Mhm.
broken hip. So, yeah, it's been hard to,
Yeah.
like, she can only stay awake for a little while
Okay.
before she gets really sleepy.
Okay.
And, you know, that's going to pass
Yeah.
as she recovers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think that would make it easier if I could talk to her more about it. She's certainly aware of the two options. She seems okay with both options, but again, we've not been able to have a really in-depth talk about it.
Okay, so I want to try something with you. I'm going to give you these here. So it's called the Cycle of Experience. Now, it's a therapy tool that is based around solution-focused therapy. So it's all about using these tools to try and find a solution to the problem that you're facing, the problem being having trouble deciding which way you want to go. Okay. So I'm just going to read a little bit here just to give you an example of how it works. So one of the most common examples of this process is when we eat. We start with the physical feeling of hunger, which is the sensation. So that's up here, that's the sensation. So get up in the morning, get up, make yourself coffee. Oh, I feel hungry. It's the sensation, we feel it, okay? So, which is usually followed by us acknowledging that we feel hungry. So first you feel the feeling, and you go, I'm hungry. My stomach's growling, I'm hungry.
Gotta get something to eat.
That's it. So that's the awareness, right? Okay. Now we take action. So then we have the motivation because we've become aware of the problem. We've gone, okay, so we need to take action. So we take action to find and acquire food. And then we eat the food, which is the contact point.
That makes sense.
Now, it sounds silly, but the thing that we don't think about is after we've eaten the food. So now our hunger is fulfilled. We've got satisfaction from that. And after we've finished with the food, it no longer pulls our attention towards it, so we withdraw.
So we've eaten, so there's no reason to be even thinking about food until like lunchtime or something.
Exactly. So it's about going through this process to get to that solution, so then that problem is not a problem anymore. That problem is not something that you have to think about anymore. So since you have started, let's talk about sensation. So at what point did you have that feeling of I'm unsure?
Well, I guess, so I got a call from the hospital to tell me that Mum had broken a hip and that it's quite serious. And, they'd been talking to her doctor and they'd decided that it wasn't safe for her to live on her own anymore. So I guess that's when it, first came up for me. And I guess I just, I was obviously scared for Mum, but there was also, this feeling of dread. I'm going to have to make a hard decision here.
Sort of got that drop in your stomach that, oh no. We're at that point. Okay. So let's say that's the sensation part of this, right? So from then on, we go to awareness. So, you give yourself a few minutes, you have a little think about it, and then you're like, okay, I'm aware Mum's had a fall, she's broken her hip, she's in hospital. The doctors have contacted me saying that it's probably not safe for her to live by herself anymore. It's acknowledging what's happening in the situation, acknowledging that there's a problem there. So usually once we've acknowledged that there's a problem, our brain goes, okay, how do we fix this? What can we do? How do we fix this? So now that you have had that energy to take the action, you're now here at the contact point. You've gone, okay, I don't know what to do. Please help me. And that's amazing. Those are very big steps to make, especially, it's just you on your own. It's just you and Mum. You don't have that immediate support system around you to help you make these decisions. So it's an amazing thing that you've gotten to this point and you've done this on your own. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
So now we're at the point where we need to find resolution and closure. So I want you to have a think about some of the pros and cons of Mum. Let's talk about the pros of Mum coming to live with you.
it would be great to spend more time with
Mhm.
Mum. The house would feel fuller.
Mhm.
I wouldn't feel as lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely
Let's
positive.
talk about some of the pros of her moving into a home.
She's going to have like round-the-clock support.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the people there are experts
Mhm.
on what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they'll know how to look after her
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now let's go on to the cons. Let's talk about the cons. What are some of the downsides of Mum coming to move in with you?
Look, as nice as it would be to not feel lonely,
Mhm.
I do really value my alone time.
Mhm. Something that you're used to. It's your
Yeah.
comfort zone.
It is, and I've lived on my own for so long.
Mhm.
Like, it's my space. It would
Yeah.
be really difficult to
Mhm.
have it kind of, she's my mum, but
Mhm.
it would feel like she's kind of invaded my
Yeah.
private space.
Yeah.
And it's like she comes over and visits
Mhm.
now, but then she goes home.
That's right.
It's my space again.
Yeah.
So lack of privacy.
Mhm.
Also, again, I'd have to look at reducing hours or
Yeah.
maybe changing jobs
Mhm.
to accommodate her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about...
Sorry about that.
That's
Let me
okay. Not a problem.
Yeah, sorry about that,
No,
Emma.
that's okay. So let's talk about the cons of Mum moving into a home.
She'll be with people that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hello? Hey. Oh, okay, yeah, it's all good. I'll talk to you later, but it's all good. Alright, see ya. Bye. Sorry, Emma.
That's okay.
Ooh.
That's okay. That's life. Life happens sometimes.
It does.
Okay.
Okay, alright, so what were we talking about? The cons, yeah. She'll be with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know anything about aged care facilities. It's completely new to me.
Okay.
So that feels very daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she may feel that I've abandoned her, that I'm not making sure that she's well looked after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of thing, I guess. It's
Okay.
a big con.
Okay. So I've got a couple of ideas for you in ways to be able to help you move forward. The first one is I'm going to gather a bunch of information. I'm going to refer you to a whole bunch of different aged care facilities that are in this area.
Yeah.
So I will give you names, phone numbers, emails. I can organise for you to go and have tours of the aged care facilities. You can go and meet some of the workers. You can meet some of the residents, see how they like it there. Really get a first-hand look at how these facilities are and how they're run and things like that. And that might give you a bit more perspective to see where you want to go from there. Now, another thing that I think that you and Mum both might find beneficial is to have some family counselling, especially coming into this transition where you're probably both a bit unsure about how each other feels about the situation.
Yeah.
I think it might be nice to get both of you in one room and we can all just sit down and air everything out on the table, and then that way when you make that decision you're making it together.
Yeah.
and that you can both be happy and both be on the same page. Does that sound like something that you think that you and Mum would be interested in?
Yeah, that would be really helpful, I
Yeah,
think.
okay. And what we can do also is if she can't come in here, you know, especially with her operation and things like that, I can come to you guys. We can organise either to meet at your house, or you know, we can organise something.
Yeah.
Even if we need to get her on a Zoom call or something like that, we can still organise to do all of that together. So I think that's a really positive way to move forward, if that's something that you'd be interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem. Now, while we're working through this process, I think it would be a good idea for you to come back in and see me again next week, just so that we can sort of get an update on how things are progressing.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that, of course,
definitely.
that is.
Yeah.
Are you all right for this time next week?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, not a problem. Well, I will book that in with the girls out the front, and yeah, we will continue this next week and we'll see how we go.
All right. Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Okay. Bye.